COVID-19 pandemic is unambiguously the worst health and economic crisis in the last 100 years during peacetime, with unprecedented negative consequences for output, jobs, and well-being. It has dented the existing world order, global value chains, labor and capital movements across the globe, and needless to say, the socio-economic conditions of large sections of the world population. The COVID-19 pandemic perhaps represents so far the biggest test of robustness and resilience of our economic and financial system. In the extraordinary circumstances that we face today, history could provide us with some useful guidance in respect of the role of central banks. Guided by the age-old wisdom summarized in Bayjort's dictum that ascribes the role of the lender of the last resort to the central bank, the Reserve Bank of India has taken a number of important historic measures to protect our financial system and support the real economy in the current crisis. While the eventual success of our policy responses will be known only after some time, they appear to have worked so far. And that gives us a lot of satisfaction, and that inspires us also to take further measures. While reiterating our intent and dedication, RBI was already in an accommodative stance before the outbreak of COVID-19, and from February 2019 onwards, on cumulative basis, we had cut the repo rate by 135 basis points till the onset of the COVID-19. Now, consistent, and that was done mainly to sort of to tackle the slowdown in growth which was visible at that time, and we had elaborately touched upon it in our MPC resolutions. Now, consistent with this policy stance, when liquidity conditions, we had also kept them in ample surplus. The lagged impact of these measures was about to propel a cyclical turnaround in economic activity when COVID-19 brought with it calamitous misery, endangering both lives and livelihood of people. Given the uncertainty regarding the evolution of COVID curve, it was absolutely critical to anticipate the emerging economic risks and take proactive monetary policy actions of sizable magnitude using comprehensive range of policy instruments. The fast-changing macroeconomic environment and the deteriorating outlook for growth necessitated off-cycle meetings of the Monetary Policy Committee, first in March and then again in May 2020. The MPC has decided, as you would be aware, to cumulatively cut the policy repo rate by 115 basis points. So from February 2019, the total rate cut that RBI has undertaken is 250 basis points. Now, we also focused on liquidity measures. I would not like to go into the details of that. They are already in the public domain. They are known to you. But I would like to just say that both conventional and unconventional monetary and liquidity measures by the Reserve Bank were undertaken, and they were aimed at, number one, restoring market confidence, number two, alleviating liquidity stress, number three, easing financial conditions, number five, unfreezing credit markets, and number six, augmenting the flow of financial resources to those in need for productive purposes. The broader objective was to mitigate the risks to growth outlook while preserving financial stability. The liquidity measures announced by the RBI since February 2020 aggregate to about rupees 9.57 lakh crore, which is equivalent to 4.7% of 2019-20 nominal GDP. So about 4.7% of the GDP, that is the kind of liquidity measures which we have announced from February this year. The economic impact of the pandemic due to lockdown and anticipated post-lockdown compression in economic growth may result in higher non-performing assets and capital erosion of the banks. A recapitalization plan for public sector banks and private sector banks has therefore become absolutely necessary. While NBFC sector as a whole may still look resilient, the financial system of the country, including all payment systems and financial markets, are functioning without any hindrance. The Indian economy has started showing signs of getting back to normalcy in response to the staggered easing of restrictions. It is, however, still uncertain when the supply chains will be restored fully, how long will it take for demand conditions to normalize, and what kind of durable effects the pandemic will leave behind on our potential growth. Targeted and comprehensive reform measures already announced by the government should help in supporting the country's potential growth.